The cost of freedom from revolution to redemption. Y'all been seeing the thing that's going on in the world today with Trump and how big Trump acting a fool, man. All praise to the Most High. Hey, Trump been going crazy, man. All praises, you know what I'm saying? I love to see it, you know what I'm saying? That guy, that's my guy right there, you know. That's the man with the plan, you know what I'm saying? Why I say that, right? Because we all want to be redeemed in here, right? We all looking forward to that day where Christ come and redeem us, right? That redemption is only going to come through the destruction of America. So when we see these things going on in the world, we should be rejoicing. It should be a happy moment for us because he is truly bringing forth the end of the world, all right? We're going to start off with Matthew 24 and verse 3. And in order for us to be truly redeemed or truly free, it's going to come at a cost. And when you look up over time, every nation that resisted America, what happened to them? They got destroyed. A lot of black men and black women and Latino men and Hispanics have been assassinated when they stood up against this great beast, all right? So a lot going on, and y'all should be paying attention to the signs. What I say, Matthew 24 and verse 3?
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 3.
Right.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming?
So the signs of thy coming, these are the things that we got to be paying attention to in the world, because the Lord always and will always leave us signs to bring forth his kingdom. So they asked Christ, what should be the signs of the last days? Keep going.
And of the end of the world.
And of what?
And of the end of the world.
Now we know that the end of this world is the beginning of our world, right? So we should be looking forward to the end of America. Keep going.
And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
So Christ told the disciples, take heed that no man deceive you. And believe it or not, America, the great city of America, is going to deceive a lot of us because we look to America for comfort. And when you think about the Israelites that was in Egypt, what happened to the Israelites when they left Egypt? What did some of them do? Go ahead, brother Al Frederick, right? What did the Israelites do when the Lord delivered them from Egypt? They murmured and complained about what? They wanted to go back to Egypt, right? So when you think about that, America is the best place in the world. Would y'all agree? It is. Now they want to agree, right? But nobody don't want to be in America. You want to say something?
Yeah, hey, officer, stop being fake, y'all. Y'all know y'all can eat 3-5 times a day in America.
Right.
Y'all can shop at any time of the day.
Right.
Y'all get all y'all trinkets at any time of the night, and y'all saying it ain't the best.
Come on, man, America. America is the greatest place to be upon the face of the earth. Everybody in the different islands and all over the world, they want to be in America. You can order something from Amazon and have it to your house in a day. Where they do that at? They don't do that nowhere. Anything you want, you can get it at a drop of a dime right here in America. So America truly is a great place to be, but it's very deceptive, and it brings us a lot of comforts a lot of times to where we forget that we're in slavery. We forget that this is the land of our captivity, right? So in America, Mystery Babylon the Great is a system that feeds on debt, deception, and dependency. So we're going to go through some of the deception and the debt and the oppression that America has done to some of the nations, right? Give me that first article. We're going to talk about Haiti briefly for a moment. Talk about Haiti. We're going to talk about South America. And then we're going to talk about some of the revolutionaries who stood up in these times, some of which we already know. We know about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Huey Newton, but it's some that we don't know. A lot of us don't know the Northern Kingdom revolutionaries, and a lot of us don't know the African revolutionary who stood up. A lot of which, at times, Bishop Nathaniel will mention Patrice Lumumba. How many of y'all know about Patrice Lumumba? Very few people. Thomas Sankara. Very few people. But the same struggles that we was going through in the 60s over here was the same thing that they was going through in the 60s in Africa. The struggle they correlate with each other. They're the same. So we got that first article. I think it's Wikipedia. All right. So scroll up to the first public act. No, let's read what the public publisher wrote right here in Leslie Mullen.
By the first U.S. occupation of Haiti, 1915 through 1934, by Leslie Mullen, published in Haiti Solidarity, August 2015. In 1915, the American Marines came to Haiti to collect American loans. Haiti was a land of people without shoes, black people whose feet walked the dusty roads to market in the early morning, or trod softly on the bare floors of hotels, serving foreign guests, barefooted, ones tending the rice and cane fields under the hot sun, climbing mountain slopes, picking coffee beans, wading through surf to fishing boats in the blue sea. All of the work that kept Haiti alive, paid the interest on American loans, and enriched foreign traders was done by people without shoes.
So that article was written by Langston Hughes, and he told the history basically of Haiti. Now, who had Haiti in slavery? It was the French who had Haiti, which is America, French, Spain, yeah, all the same people. Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, America took part in Haiti being put in slave. Let's read Revelation 18 and verse 12. Because America has a history of oppressing and enslaving nations. That's the motto that they have. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? But it's all done because it's the prophecy that was written. We're only going to be redeemed by us going through the curses that the Lord said we would go through for being disobedient to him. Revelation 18 and verse 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 12. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointment and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horses and chariots.
Now all of these things are supposed to be traded amongst nations. But the last one, read.
And slaves.
And slaves.
And souls of men.
That's what America do. They sell souls. So what Langston Hughes was talking about in this article was the slavery and oppression that Haiti went through. Now let's go back to that article. A few more things I want to touch on out of there. So I'm going to read it because I don't want to read all of it. But it said, Haiti's revolution established the first independent nation in Latin America and the world's first black republic. Now, who can name for me one of the Haitian revolutionaries that's most known? Benji. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Toussaint Louverture, what year did he rebel against Haiti? It's like the 1700s or something like that, right? Late 1700s. Go back, right? We're reading about this article in 1915. So if Toussaint Louverture had to rebel, that means what? Haiti was already conquered at this time. What year did Rome fall? So Rome fell 193 AD. This was Esau, the powers that rule the world today. Read that, Malachi 1 in verse, start at verse 2.
The book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 2.
For the Christians in the back.
I have loved you, said the Lord.
Uh-huh.
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Uh-huh.
Was not Esau's Jacob brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau.
So no, God does not love all races of people. He said he hates Esau. The man that's ruling the world today, God say he hates him. Read.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
This happened in 193 AD when Rome was conquered by Septimius Severus, a black man who hated his own people. So from 193, now verse 4.
Verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
When did Rome return and build the desolate places? All right, so Rome fell 193 AD until the 1400s was considered the Dark Ages. So Rome came into power in the 1400s. Toussaint Louverture rebelled in 1700. So America was already coming back into power around the 1400s. This is the time that they start to oppress all the nations, them along with Spain, France, Germany, all the same people. All right, go back to that article. So it says, former slaves defeated Napoleon's army and liberated France's most valuable colony, birthed in the struggle to overthrow slavery that was already taking place years before. The Haitian people resolved never to surrender their sovereignty to a foreign power, never to return to slavery. The 1915 through 1934 U.S. occupation was to reignite this resolve. Go up. Yep, keep going, keep going, keep going. Start right there. So for over a century after the independence of Haiti, after independence, Haiti faced hostility from foreign powers, especially France and the United States. For daring to overthrow slavery, Haiti was ostracized and forced into repeated compromise to secure foreign trade. In 1825, France demanded that Haiti pay an indemnity to compensate former slave owners for their colonial losses, an amount equivalent to $21 billion today. Now, I don't understand this. I'm gonna tell you why I don't understand this. Because Haiti had to pay the people that was owned them reparations, and they were slaves. So how is it that the slaves have money to pay the slave owner for them not being slaves no more? This is the evil of America. This is the white man that we serve today. By the way, white man is the devil. That's right. I truly believe that, and I stand on that. And the Lord is going to destroy him, all right? But Haiti was forced to pay $21 billion to France for them not being slaves no more. What sense that make? No, you got something? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's the bully still getting the lunch money from the kid that they bullied, even though they lost the fight.
Makes no sense at all.
It makes no sense.
Go back to the article and get Habakkuk 2 real quick. So it says an amount equivalent to $21 billion today. The demand was conveyed by 6 warships of the Haitian coast and accompanied by the threat of an economic blockade. Haiti's peasant population carried the burden of this debt for 122 years. It was finally paid off in 1947. The indemnity was a crippling blow to Haiti's economy. The rural areas were robbed of money needed for development, infrastructure, and education. And Haiti went deeply into debt, securing loans at exorbitant interest rates to keep up with the payments. So this is America, y'all. Right now, Haiti is the way that it is because of the oppression that they face by the hands of France and America. And not just Haiti. We're talking about all the islands. Even Africa, to this day, is poor because America uses being poor is not something that happens by chance. It's policy, according to America, right? Read that in Habakkuk 2.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Whose soul, y'all? Whose soul is that? Come on, say it. Y'all like y'all scared to say the white man in here.
Right.
His soul is the white man. Read.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Uh-huh.
Yea, also.
It said, but the just shall live by his faith. What's the faith of the just? What is the faith of the just? That America will be destroyed. The only way that we receive salvation is by America being destroyed. Keep reading.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
What's the wine that he transgresses by? Micah 2:11. So his wines is the lies and the policies that he set up with these other nations, the sanction that he put on them, and the debt that they have to pay America. So it said he transgresses by wine. Go ahead.
He is a proud man.
He is a proud man. And we're gonna play some videos to show you how proud America is today. They are proud of their oppression and their give me some other words, and their the hate that they put on the other nations. Go ahead.
Neither keepeth at home.
Neither what?
Neither keepeth at home.
So not only did he do this in Haiti, he did this in Jamaica. He did it in Cuba. We just seen a couple weeks ago he did it in Venezuela. What nation can go to another place and steal a president? Where they do that at? Nobody in their right mind could ever come to America and steal Donald Trump. Won't happen. That's how you know this man right here is talking about the man that ruled the world today and not other foreign powers. Keep going.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Hell can never be filled. So this man has no beginning, he has no end. If there's a place somewhere in space, they're going to try to conquer it. That's just the mentality of them. And you think about us today. Not only did they put us in slavery, but they changed our name. They stole our heritage from us. They turned us upside down. We don't know who we are today. That show you how the depths of the white man. Keep going.
And is as death.
And is what?
And is as death.
Uh-huh.
And cannot be satisfied.
Uh-huh.
but gathereth unto him all nations,
Mhm.
and heapeth unto him all people.
So he said he gathered unto himself all nations and heapeth unto himself all people. Go ahead.
Shall not all these take up a parable against him,
Uh-huh.
and a taunting proverb against him,
Mhm.
and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
So guess what? The things that we see going on in America right now, the nations are starting to come together. They ain't doing it just quite yet. They on the verge of it because they know that America is proud and that they can't mess with this man. They know, like, man, we can't touch America right now. So they haven't quite got there yet, but they're getting there. They're starting to come together and see how evil the white man is. Go ahead.
How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay,
Mm-hmm.
shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee,
Mm-hmm.
and await that shall vex thee?
So guess what? The time is coming. Our redemption is close, which means that we have to make sure that we're doing the things that are necessary for us to receive that kingdom. We can't be halfway in and halfway out. We got to be all the way in or all the way out, because the Lord don't deal in lukewarmness. All right. So real quick, let's do that. Video 1. This is the mentality of America in conjunction with Habakkuk 2 about them enlarging their desires hell. That first video.
We need Africa to be impoverished.
And y'all, everybody's seen this video before, you know what I'm saying? Like, what we do here, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have fathers and leaders that we look up to, right? So people can call us an echo chamber all the hell they want to. But we have men that we admire, have men that we look up to, and they show us the way to go. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to play in this class, you already seen it before. I'm just going to give you a reminder of how evil the white man is. The white man is the devil. Play that.
We need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. If Africa does do something different, I assure you living standards of all those in Europe and North America is going to fall. Okay? And that is a big price to pay. I assure you that the West is not going to allow that without a big fight. We give them aid. Aid for what? Actually, we give them aid to keep repressive regimes in power. All the hypocrisy about transparency and democracy and bullshit like that, it's all bullshit.
You heard what he said. The white man said himself. He says all bullshit. Democracy, politics, so all the things that we believe in today, prior to us coming to the truth, they said vote. Go vote. Make sure you vote. For what? What has voting changed for us all these years? We still in the same condition, if not worse, than before we started voting. And the reason why I say it's worse because prior to us voting, black people had fight within them. Now, no fight at all. We sit back, we chilling, as long as that paycheck come, you good. So we've become comfortable in America. But Big Trump, he finna change all that right now. A lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of people that don't know the Bible, and even some of y'all that may do know the Bible, y'all scared because y'all don't know how things are gonna go. Y'all sitting on the edge of y'all seat, man, what Trump gonna do tomorrow? What he gonna say? Some of y'all got stocks invested in the stock market. Every time you say something crazy, it drop. You ready to take your money out. Say something else, it go up, you like, okay, I'm good. Y'all trust in that, you know what I'm saying? But the Lord is gonna bring all that to pass. Come soon. Let's talk about Trump, man. Play that second video. Big Trump, this is what he said. So y'all know.
Right now,
He talking about the Greenlands right now. He want to take the Greenland. He said we're gonna make Greenland ours. It's a war going on in Iran right now. Just a couple weeks ago, he took the president of Venezuela, and these are the things that we know. So imagine the things that we don't know that they doing, because they don't show us everything. They only show us a little bit here and there. But let's talk about it. Play that video.
right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. Okay? I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
Man, look, Trump said, I'm that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it.
Bro, he sound like Felice Johnson. We could do it the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours. That's exactly what he sound like right now. And then with the pump that Trump has, all praises to the Most High for the spirit of Esau on him. That's Esau, I do mean Edom right there. And he is telling you straight up and down, hey, we're going to talk to Greenland because we need those resources. Going back to what you said, officer, They stealing from every nation, even including their own. It's crazy, bro.
I like to hear Trump, man. Trump, you know what I'm saying? Trump make me happy, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Every time I see him, I'm like, man, this guy here, man, he the truth, bro. You know what I'm saying? He don't bite his tongue for nobody. He gonna say what's on his mind. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like. I like to deal with white people who make it known that they hate me. I don't want to deal with a person who they make you feel like they like you, but behind closed door they plotting on you. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to deal with people like that. Be straight up. Play the next video.
I told China and I told Russia, we get along with you very well. We like you very much. We don't want you there. Not going to be there. And if we didn't do this, China would have been there and Russia would have been there. Maybe they both would have been there together, but they're not going to be there now. One thing I will tell them, and I will tell you, that we are open for business. China can buy all the oil they want from us there or in the United States. Russia can get all the oil they need from us.
Look, Trump said, look, we just took these niggas oil, and if y'all want some, we got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got this. Play the next video, man. Trump is hilarious, bro. I'm telling you, man, he the one. Now, after they took the oil, this is what he said to China and Russia. Look at what else he said to them. The next video. Man.
Plan to distribute the money from the Venezuela oil sales.
We want to make sure that Venezuela can survive. Venezuela needs money. We're going to have a lot of money left over. And the money left over is going to the United States of America, and the oil companies are going to be very happy.
Man, get Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the Lord is showing us right now is who the devil is according to the Bible. That's what he's showing us. But, like I said, all this is fine and dandy. You know what I'm saying? I like to laugh at Trump. But what we got to focus on even more is, like it said in 2 Peter 3, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. But as these days get closer, what type of men and women are we being in this truth? Because we can laugh at Trump and, you know what I'm saying, see him do all these crazy things. But if we're not living by the standard that God wants us to live by, we're going to get the same judgment that the white man get. You know what I mean? So read that in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed.
And that what?
That man of sin be revealed.
So right now, Trump is revealing how evil America is, right? So we talk about these religions and these policies that it got set up, how democracy is all BS. Democracy is oppression. Being poor is not something that just happened to us. It's a policy that was set up against us. We are poor because they wanted us to be poor. And we also poor because we broke God's commandments, right? But just to show y'all that the religion and the policies that's set up in America, it's not a new thing. America is an extension of who? America is an extension of Rome. America got all their policies and all the way that they deal, they got that from Rome. Prior to Rome being in power, who was in power? Greece was in power, right? So let's read 1 Maccabees 8 and chapter 1. Then 1 Maccabees 8 and verse 1. We're going to talk a little bit about the policies and see if Rome moved the same way that America moves today. Start at verse 1. We're going to jump around a little bit.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 8 and verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them.
So, this is during the time of the Greeks, but the Romans had already came into play during Greek captivity. He said, I heard of the fame of the Romans. Why? Because they had started to take over during this time. Y'all remember the history in the Greeks, how one of the Greek sons was sold to the Romans. They had him as ransom. So they held him as ransom because this is what they do. Read that verse again, verse 1.
Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them.
So that lovingly accept all that join unto them is not for the person that's joining with them benefit. It's for their own benefit. Go ahead.
And make a league of amity with all that came unto them.
So they will make covenants with these people. But the covenant that America makes with us or with you or whoever's in that high seat, it's not for your benefit. It's for their benefit. So they bind you into this covenant just so they can continue to rule. Because if you're evil enough to betray your own people, you think the white man gonna keep you in the seat of authority? No, once you do his bidding, he's gonna get rid of you just like you was a traitor to your own people. They don't trust you. But a lot of our people think that because they give you this high-paying job or they put you in a seat of authority to where they allow you to rule over your people, that they're doing that because they care and they love you. They don't. They do everything for their own benefit. Keep reading.
And that they were men of great valor.
Uh-huh.
It was told him also of their wars and nobles' acts which they had done among the Galatians.
Go to verse 7.
Verse 7. And how they took him alive and covenant that he, such as reigned after him, should pay a great tribute and give hostages, and that which was agreed upon.
So they took Antiochus' son and told him that you had to pay a ransom to get your son back. Now jump to verse 11.
Verse 11. It was told him besides how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resist.
Hold up. Go to verse 10. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And that they, having knowledge thereof, sent against them a certain captain, and fighting with them, slew many of them, and carried away captives their wives and their children, and spoiled them, and took possession of their lands, and pulled down their strongholds, and brought them to be servants unto this day. It was told him besides how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resisted them. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amity.
Go ahead.
And that they had conquered kingdoms both far and nigh, insomuch as all that heard of their name were afraid of them.
That's the same way today. People are afraid of America because they know the lengths that America would go to get what they want. And the proof of that is how they killed Malcolm X, how they killed Marcus Garvey, how they assassinated Dr. Martin Luther King, and even some of the presidents. They just what the dude? I don't want to say his name, but the one that just got C. Kirk. They took them off. You know what I'm saying? So if they do that to their own people, you don't think they'll do it to you? But you look at this money that they give you, you know what I'm saying, as a token of their acceptance. Because that's the problem. The problem with our people is that we've been oppressed by Esau so long. Give me 2 Maccabees 4. We look at them. We know we slaves and they don't like us. But at the same time, knowing and understanding that they don't like us, we think that they're going to be the one to save us. That's why we look at their heroes like Captain America and Superman. You know what I'm saying? You allow your children to see that and not understanding how detrimental it is for them to see somebody that don't look like them as somebody that's going to save them. That's the whole purpose of white Jesus being on the earth, to deceive you. They put you in slavery and then give you an image at the same time and say, this is the one that's going to save you. What type of shit is that? 2 Maccabees 4.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, and verse 15. Not saddened by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like when you become a slave to a nation, it becomes a point of time where you just want to be accepted of them because you're tired of being oppressed. And any little gratification or any little praise they give you, you take it as them caring about you. Read.
By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them.
So he said here, because we love the glory of the people that oppressed us more than we love our own glory, that's where the oppression come from. Read.
By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them. For they had them to be their enemies and avengers.
To be who?
Their enemies and avengers.
And this is the problem with oppression. How can a person be your enemy and somebody that's going to save you at the same time? That's called confusion. And America is the land of confusion. We all were once a part of that, where we went to church and we wholeheartedly believed that a white man was going to come and save us. Everybody seen Passion of the Christ, and you seeing Christ get put on that cross, and you shedding the tear. You, oh my God, why they do that to him? Not even understanding that he a black man according to the Bible. That man ain't coming back to save you. That's the same man that put you in chains. That's the same man whose last name some of y'all got today. Some of y'all ain't changed y'all name because y'all scared. Y'all love the white man so much. I got to keep my last name. You take honor on that last name. You know why I can talk? Because I changed my last name. Ha! But yeah, get your last name changed, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, if you got a government job or something like that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But The Lord say your name is Israel. You got to take pride in your last name being Israel. So if you haven't got your name changed, shame on you. Go back to 1 Maccabees 8.
Read verse 11 again.
Yes.
Verse 12.
Verse 12.
Verse 1 Maccabees chapter 8, verse 12. But with their friends and such as rely upon them, they kept amity, and that they had conquered kingdoms, both far and nigh, and so much as all that heard of their name were afraid of them.
Go ahead.
Also that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reigned, and whom again they displaced.
So if you was for Rome, they allowed you to reign. But it said if you was against them, they displaced you. They put somebody there that was gonna protect their agenda. So Obama, black president, 2008. My president is black. Lambo's blue. Everybody thought we had a savior to come to the world. But what did he do? He supported the policies of America. He did us no justice. But this is what America do. So I'm just showing you here that America is not what they make themselves out to be. They're an extension of the same people who had us in captivity for years. All of them are the same. China, Russia, Japan, they all gonna get the same judgment for destroying us. But if we don't take heed to God's commandments, we won't see that day. All right, let's get the next video. The next article. I think it's China and Canada. Because what Trump said he was going to do to Canada. He said he was going to make Canada the 51st state. That man said, look, Canada is going to be the 51st state. I said this. And he want to do it too. He will do it. I hope he do it. Piss him off even more.
Yeah, real quick. So y'all do understand that all this has everything to do with Esau's policies, trade, commerce, things of that nature. Because if they were, just think about it. If they were to make Canada the 51st state, do they have to pay any type of trading fees to go across another state lines? No. Why are they getting Greenland over the natural resources that Greenland have? Why did they seize after Venezuela? Because of the oil that they have. Esau ramping up for something. They're preparing for something. And if y'all don't see that they're preparing for a big war, hey, you sleep. You sleep. Y'all got it?
Going to be caught in the crosshairs, right? So this is just America heaping all nations to himself. I think we talked about earlier in Habakkuk how they're going to start to come together. What it said that, but gathering to himself all nations, shall not these take up a parable against him. So what's happening right now, in brief, is NATO is starting to separate from America, but Canada is starting to make agreements with the people that America hates. Because what he said with China and Russia, he said, look, we got all the oil you want. We don't want y'all to be our neighbors, so we're going to take Venezuela because we don't want y'all here. But I just stole this oil from Venezuela, so if you want some, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all niggas too close. But you know what I'm saying? You want to do business, hey, man, we here. You know what I'm saying? But right now, Canada is making deals with China. Y'all got that one, that article? And we ain't got to read the article. We're just going to do we're going to do the title. It say Canada, China reach initial trade deal on electric vehicles. Canola. Scroll up. So China just made a deal with Canada. And Canada is the same place that Trump is trying to make the 51st state. China is an enemy to America. What they say, the friend of my friend is your enemy? Something like that. I don't know the saying, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So these other nations are starting to gather together because they know America is full of BS. All right. Now, give me Daniel 2, because all of this is Bible prophecy. All of these things must come to pass if we're going to receive the kingdom of God, right? And while we're in the midst of all of this, there's a certain behavior we have to have. There's a certain mentality that we have to have. Daniel 2 and verse 31.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 31. Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image, this great image whose brightness was excellent.
So just to give y'all a backstory, most of y'all should have read it already, but Daniel was told to interpret a dream. And the dream that he was told to interpret, the man who had the dream didn't even know what the dream was. So Daniel had to go to the Lord and pray to the Lord, and the Lord gave Daniel the vision to tell to the king. Right now, Daniel 2.
Daniel chapter 2, verse 31.
Uh-huh.
Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
This image head was of fine gold.
So the head was a fine gold. Brother, what's your name again, bro? Alonzo? Elijah. Brother Elijah. Who was the head of gold? Stand up. Babylon. All praise. Keep going.
His breast and his arms of silver.
The breast and arms of silver. Brother Moshe. Yeah, he trying to look like he looking at his Bible. Come on, man. You got it. I know you got it. That's right. All praise to the Most High. Keep going.
His belly and his thighs of brass.
Brother Anton. Who was that? Correct. Keep going.
His legs of iron.
Who looking at their Bible? Brother Luke. Rome, correct. Go ahead.
His feet, part of iron and part of clay.
Who was that? Brother Sean. American who? Yeah, who else? You're not wrong, you know. No, you fell off the horse. Somebody help him out, soldier. Correct. America and NATO. Keep reading.
Verse 34. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces.
So as you continue to read, in a few verses later, Daniel explains the vision about what the brothers just said. Babylon, Media, Persia, Greek, Rome, and America and EU, right? But he said this stone smote the image of the beast. Who was that stone, brothers? That stone is Christ. So Daniel seen all the kingdoms fall. What kingdom came after the 10 toes? Anybody? No, what? Yes, you're right. But I'm saying, was it any other nation that ruled after the 10 toes? No, not besides us. So Daniel seen everything that we see today, the Lord showed Daniel in a vision. Daniel seen it all. He wasn't around when Persia, well, he was around briefly, but he wasn't around when the Greeks came into play. He wasn't around when Rome came into play. He wasn't around when America and the EU came into play. He wasn't around, but he's seen all these things. But even with that understanding, let's prove who the stone is first. I'm sorry. Give me Isaiah 28 and verse 6, I think. 16. Isaiah 28, 16. We're going to come back here.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 16. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste.
So that stone is Jesus Christ. Keep reading.
Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place.
So he said, judgment shall he lay to the stone, meaning he going to destroy all of these nations and set up our kingdom. Matthew 21 and verse 42.
The book of Matthew, chapter 21 and verse 42. Jesus saith unto them, did ye never read in the scriptures, the stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner.
Go ahead.
This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes.
Go ahead.
Therefore say I unto you, the kingdom of God shall be taken from you and given to a nation bringing forth the fruits thereof. And whosoever shall fall on this stone shall be broken. But on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder.
Christ said he was going to grind these nations to powder. And the Pharisees didn't even understand, because Christ said he was sent to be a stone of stumbling to some people. To most people in the world, Jesus Christ is a stone in the stomach. They don't understand that we got to keep God's commandments. The Christians, the modern day Pharisees, they don't understand that we must keep God's commandments to this day. And they always got their mouths. They always got something to say about the Israelites. But we are the ones that keeping God's commandments. We are the ones that's following. The Christ didn't come to destroy us. He came to save us. But this is that same stone that's going to come to destroy all the nations upon the face of the earth. So Daniel seen this vision. Let's go back to Daniel 2. Daniel seen this vision. He's seen the end of all the kingdoms. But Daniel still suffered. Daniel 6:1. Daniel went through the lion's den. Where he was put in the furnace. And the Lord brought him out of that. So the reason why I say this is because we understand that America must fall. But I think what we fail to understand at times is that we're going to suffer the same way Christ did. The suffering has to happen. You can't have one without the other. But are you going to suffer as a Christian? Or are you going to suffer as an evildoer? Because we all going to suffer. But how you want to suffer is the question. Daniel 6 and I don't want to go too far. Yeah, you can start at 10. We'll jump around.
Daniel chapter 6 and verse 10. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime.
Verse 13.
Verse 13. Then answered they and said before the king that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but make of his petition 3 times a day. Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, Know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is, that no decree nor statute which the king establisheth may be changed.
And you know what also this shows? That Daniel had a good report amongst the people who had him in slavery. Daniel didn't behave like no nigga. So we shouldn't be at our jobs, and when people see us in the street, they should be able to tell something that's different about us. But at the same time, they should respect us. We shouldn't have a bad name amongst these nations, because at times they could be the one to save you. You know what I'm saying? The Lord say, make yourself friends with the mammon of unrighteousness, because the principles of the Bible is going to govern the whole world anyway. So we should be examples of what it means to be righteous to the whole world, and not just the people in here. Daniel had the report among his captors, the people who captured him. The king wanted to save him, but the people wanted to kill him. David seen the visions of all the kingdoms getting destroyed, but he still had to go through these things. Keep reading.
Then the king commanded, as they brought Daniel, and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, Thy God, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel.
So the king prayed that Daniel will make it through the night. He didn't even sleep through the night because he was so worried about Daniel. That's just the impression that Daniel had on him as a man who knew how to walk in God's commandments, and as a woman. Jump to verse 21.
Verse 21. Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God hath sent his angel, and have shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt.
So because of Daniel's excellent spirit that he had within him, the Lord sent angels to protect him, even through all his suffering. He knew the prophecies. He knew everything. He knew Babylon was going to be destroyed. Media was in at this time, so Babylon had already been destroyed. But even in the midst of all that, because of how Daniel moved, because his mindset, the Lord protected him. It's the same thing with us in here. The Lord is going to protect us through all of this evil that's going on in the earth. But are you going to be found innocent, or are you going to be found guilty? Are you going to do the things necessary to obtain the kingdom, or are you going to make an excuse? Some of y'all can't. We don't see a lot of y'all. Some of y'all come one Sabbath, then we don't see you again for the next Sabbath. Some of y'all don't communicate. You got things going on in the home. You don't let nobody know nothing. So we can't provide a solution because you're not talking. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all like halfway in, halfway out. And I'm not saying it just to y'all, because as I'm teaching, I'm still being taught. You see what I'm saying? The Bible applies to us all up here. Just because we sit up here don't mean we don't have to abide by the same principle, because we do. But we gotta constantly be reminded on how we should move, because we tend to forget. America tends to bring comfort, and it tends to slip our mind, right? But death is coming to us all. And we're going to talk about some of the men and women who understood that freedom came with a cost. And a lot of time that cost was their own life. So it said freedom is always purchased. It's never gifted. We're not going to be gifted the kingdom. We're going to have to take the kingdom. And in taking the kingdom, we're going to have to give some up. We're going to have to make some sacrifices. It's going to be our time. It's going to be our money. We're going to have to sacrifice a lot. Even some of us, our lives. Some of you sisters. The woman in 2 Maccabees had 7 children. She had to give all them up, and herself. How was she able to do that if she didn't prepare herself when she had the time to? Right now is the time. On the Sabbath day is where the laws of God are taught, every Sabbath. And some days even throughout the week. But do you take the time to show up and build yourself up? Or you make excuses? Or you choose comfort over pleasure? Because comfort is the enemy to redemption. Comfort is the enemy to freedom. It say freedom oftentimes costs your life, either slow in submission or quicken resistance. Suffering is not abandonment, and that example is shown in Daniel when he got put in the lion's den. He's seen all the kingdoms falling, but he still was able to endure through all that, right? So we're going to look at some of the men. Put the picture up of the Northern Kingdom. No, the American revolutionaries first, the ones we all know. Okay, so these are the ones we all know. Who at the top left right there? Malcolm X, up under him. Dr. King, beside Malcolm X. Okay, up under Fred Hampton. Huey, who up under Huey? Okay. Who the other one? Garvey and Stokely Carmichael. So these are the ones we all know. We all know the things that they had to go through on this side of the world. Give me the Northern Kingdom ones, and this is one I got to work on. Okay, so on the left, we got Felipe Luciano. Then we got at the top right, we got Cesar Chavez. We got Carlos Margella, and we got Pedro Albizu Campos. These are some of the Northern Kingdom brothers that went through the oppression and gave their lives up. Now let's go to the one we're going to talk about, the African revolutionaries. So at the top left, that's Patrice Lumumba. Up under him, you got Thomas Sankara. You got Chris Haney. That's Kwame I don't know how to say his name. Kwame Nkrumah. And then you got Steve Biko. All right, so give me that first video, the speech that Patrice Lumumba gave. Because these men understood what it was going to take for them to be free. And I think that's a mentality that has to grow upon us. But as these times ramp up, it ain't going to have to grow too long, because it's going to be forced. The Lord is going to force our hand where you're going to pick a side. You're going to either be all in or all out. You know what I'm saying? That's what oppression is coming to right now. Big Trump turned it up, man. He just became prime minister. Now, he's been put in place as a leader by Belgium, the government, right? But the speech that he gave, they wasn't expecting that. They didn't like that thing. You can see on their faces, they like, man, this nigga here talking all this shit. He's starting to encourage these people. We're going to have a problem on our hand. And they killed him. Play that video.
Indépendance, aujourd'hui victorieux.
Y'all can read, can't you?
Je vous salue au nom du gouvernement congolais. À vous tous, mes amis, qui avez lutté sans relâche à nos côtés, je vous demande de faire
So this
de
is
cette
June
30 juillet
30th,
1960
1960. 1960 is when Malcolm X was around, Dr. King. It's a lot of them Brown Berets. You had the Black Panther Party. This was around the same time. Like, this is going on in America. This is going on in Africa. Go ahead.
une date illustre que vous garderez ineffaçablement gravée dans vos cœurs, une date dont vous enseignerez avec fierté la signification à vos enfants, pour que ceux-ci, à leur tour,
Go to 3 minutes and 36 seconds. All right, right there. Yep, play it.
Aujourd'hui dans l'attente avec la Belgique, pays ami avec qui nous
So
traitons
if y'all know any
d'égal à
history about
égal.
the Congo, it was ruled by Leopold. I think Officer Keaton last couple weeks ago he showed an article that King Leopold had sent out concerning the Congo, and they went through some of the most atrocious things that you can think about. A lot of them got their hand cut off. You know what I'm saying? Like they had it bad. So he's speaking about their freedom that they got from King Leopold during this time. Go ahead. So what he's doing is recanting. I don't know if that's the right word for this situation, but he's remembering his history. Go ahead.
Ni les Congolais, dieux de ce nom, ne pourra jamais oublier cependant que c'est par la lutte qu'il a été conquise.
The fighting that he's making reference to is him becoming prime minister. So he said, this day we're not going to forget. And this is one of the things that a lot of these revolutionaries lack. They still believe that operating in their political system was going to bring some type of freedom. That's what they didn't understand. That's what we understand today. That's why the Lord said he sent his prophets last. Because we understand that the way we going to receive the kingdom is through obedience to God. It's not through trusting in the system. It's not through voting. It's not through this, that. It's going to be through this Bible. Go ahead.
Une élite de tous les jours, une élite ardente et idéaliste, une élite dans laquelle nous n'avons mélangé ni nos forces,
Go
ni
to
nos privations.
4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Cette élite qui fit des larmes, des feux et des sangs, nous en sommes fiers jusqu'au plus profond de nous-mêmes, car ce fut une élite noble et juste, une élite indispensable pour mettre fin à l'humiliant esclavage qui nous était imposé par la force. Ce qui fit notre sort à 80 ans du régime colonialiste.
So think about it.
No.
He became prime minister, and you standing up here talking about slavery? Think about what that does to the white man. Like, nigga, we didn't make you prime minister so you can remind these people about what they went through. That ain't why we put you here. But this is what happened. He made this speech, and after this speech, we can skip this video, go to the next video. You got something?
Yes, sir. This actually happened in history to Jerusalem. Watch this, 2 Kings chapter 24. This same thing happened where Babylon the Great will set up somebody to take control of a region, and that person has a different agenda. They're like, wait a minute, I'm in power. What I gotta listen to you for? Right? Read that. 24, start at verse 17.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 24 and verse 17.
So this is after Babylon has ransacked Jerusalem. See what tactic Babylon did, because this is Babylon the Great, correct? Right. So since it's Babylon the Great, we're going into Babylon's history to see tactics that they did back then that Babylon the Great is doing today. Read that.
And the king of Babylon made Mattaniah, his father's brother, king in his stead.
Read.
And changed his name to Zedekiah.
So Zedekiah was a puppet king in Jerusalem. He was a king set up by Babylon to monitor the people of Jerusalem. Make sure they pay their taxes. Make sure the work is being done that is needed of Babylon. Read.
Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Hamida, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah.
Read on.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord,
Read.
according to all that Jehoiakim had done.
So, of course, he went into idolatry, things of that nature, right? But it's something else that he did. Read.
For through the anger of the Lord it came to pass in Jerusalem and Judah, until he had cast them out from his presence, that Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon.
So Zedekiah was set up by Babylon, but then he comes to find out he starts to rebel against the people that set him up. Read the next verse. What happened to Zedekiah?
Chapter 25, verse 1. And it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came, he and all his hosts, against Jerusalem, and pitched against it. And they built forts against it round about.
Read on.
And the city was besieged until the 11th year of King Zedekiah.
Read.
And on the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine prevailed in the city, and there was no bread for the people of the land.
So you see that? Because that King Zedekiah, the puppet king, he then rebelled against the power struggle. Now the king like, you know what? Send the troops there and we're going to starve them out. And he lost. So this is what we see all the time. We always see these puppet kings that set up in these different areas to continue the agenda of America. But then once they start smelling themselves, then they're like, wait a minute. I got power to actually give power back to the people that it belongs to. Once they start thinking like that, no, get rid of him. Send the wet team. He didn't want to take our silver, so let's give him some lead. That's how they always do. And this is a tactic that was done by Babylon of old, still being done today by Babylon the Great.
Facts. And play that next video, because what officer said it was heavy. He said, fill them up with lead. And that's exactly what happened to Patrice Lumumba. They took him out, and they set the fire squad on him and killed him. Play that next video about Patrice.
Didn't kill Lumumba because he was dangerous. They killed him because he refused to kneel. Patrice Lumumba became the first elected prime minister of Congo in 1960, after decades of brutal Belgian rule. He believed one radical idea, that Africans should control their own land, their own resources, and their own future. That idea terrified the West. Congo wasn't just any country. It had uranium, copper, diamonds, minerals that powered empires. The same uranium the U.S. used in Hiroshima came from Congo, and Lumumba wanted to take that power out of foreign hands. So when Belgium backed the secession of Katanga and the country fell into chaos, Lumumba reached out for support, possibly even to the Soviet Union. And during the Cold War, that was enough to make him an enemy. By late 1960, a CIA-backed coup put Mobutu in power. Lumumba was arrested, beaten, and humiliated, then secretly flown to Katanga, where his enemies were waiting. On January 17, 1961, Lumumba and 2 ministers were executed by firing squad. Their bodies were dissolved in acid to erase the evidence. Decades later, Belgian officials admitted involvement, and declassified CIA documents confirmed Western support. Lumumba was killed at 35, not because he was weak, but because he was powerful enough to imagine a free Africa.
And you see that? And y'all think Patrice understood what he was getting himself into when he did that? He did. He understood what was going to come behind that. And that's the same mentality that we got to have with this truth. When they start cracking down on these laws and they say, y'all can't teach that Bible, are we going to cow it out and tuck in and go back home? Or we going to do what we came here to do? We going to get the kingdom or not? And that's what Lumumba understood. But, side note, America had their hand in his assassination. There is no place that war is going on, that deception is going on, that robbing or stealing is going on, that America's going to always be there. Go ahead.
Get Psalms 58, verse 2. Because to add on to the levels of hatred and evil that America has, or Babylon the Great, or like the Lord say prophetically, the daughter of Babylon. It's the reason why Babylon's name keep coming up. We got to see what the history was, what happened then, and how's it going to happen today. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness.
So in their mind, they work evil. Read.
Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
You see that? How much violence I can do. Because I had a power, hey, I can go and steal a man's president. I can steal a country's president and his wife and his resources, and they ain't going to do nothing about it.
They can kill a man, put him in a barrel of acid, and the only thing he had left was his tooth. And they kept that as a token for a long time. They just released it, you know what I'm saying, a couple years ago, you know what I'm saying? So they put him in acid and just did away with him, you know what I'm saying? That man got a wife, he got kids, he got family.
All right, read that again.
Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
So the wicked are estranged from the womb. They are separated indeed, and they are strange. Read.
They go astray as soon as they be born.
Read.
Speaking lies.
So these type of spirits speak lies right when they come out the womb. Right when they crying, they lying. They lying. Read.
Their poison.
They went lie. Another one. Read.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
So I want y'all to see something. He's making a reference to the speaking lies. The poison is like an adder. So he's making a comparison between the wicked and the snake. Where is the snake's poison located? In the mouth. So that means that the lies that they speak to then gain either lands, resources, things of this nature, is going to come from their mouth. So the poison is going to come out of their mouth just like a snake. When it enters the body, how does this type of poison enter the body of man? Through the ears. So then when you receive this poison, does poison kill you suddenly, or is it a process of time? It's a process of time, so it's a slow death. So going back to what you just showed, in Africa, Esau is known for starting tribal wars with neighboring factions or different clans just to have them fighting, and then they'll go in behind that and take the resources of the land. And then, oh, you have an iPhone. That's why you have an iPhone. That's why you have EV cars or electronic, electric vehicles, solar panels. It's so much silver that's in all these electronics. All this stuff that we be arguing about, oh, iPhone, Android, all of it is garbage, and all of it has blood on it. Because it's the blood of our people to make these devices. So if you repping Esau's technology, hey, whatever. But I know all this crap is trash. It's trash. Because there's so much death and destruction that has happened with the children of Israel and with God's people to get these devices. Read that again.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Uh-huh.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
Does a snake have ears? No. How does a snake react to anything? It feels the vibrations of either its prey or to see if there's something, if it's to be preyed after, right? It don't hear nothing. So based off the vibrations, they would take a man from his country, take his resources, and then in their ears, they ain't listening to the cries of the people. But once the bombs start going off in their home, now they feel the vibration. Now they see how serious it is. But until that time, hey, Esau's poison or his mouth or his media is always going to trick the minds of the foolish.
That's why you can't negotiate with America. You can't negotiate with a terrorist. Terrorists don't negotiate.
Okay, let me get First Maccabees 1:41 because the video said that he was trying to, basically bring his people together and be self-sufficient, be dependent on themselves, right? So just like we have to go back and see the different attributes and tricks that Esau played on us or whatever, they go back and see what their forefathers did to make which caused them to be successful, right? And one thing was to never allow us to be self-sufficient. What is called segregation. That stuff was a trick bag back in the day, because before then, we were successful. Black Wall Street, Mount Bayou, we were successful without them. So they understood that they had to go and keep us together. Just like this right here in First Maccabees. Read that.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
So that's America right there. They want all to be one peoples. And it's designed to be to keep us at the bottom, because they understand if we if they let us alone, like the scripture said, they let us alone, and we keep the commandments. We find the scriptures and apply the commandments, then we're going to thrive above them. Even without the scriptures, we was thriving above them. You see what I'm saying? Read.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
And that's what happens. A lot of time our people feel they're comfortable with what's called, not the politics, like coming together, assimilation. They comfortable with that thing. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to be uncomfortable with stepping outside of like the brother did. He stepped outside of what he was taught and the oppression that he was experiencing, and he was like, look, we got to do this ourselves. That's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable right there for most people to do that. And like I said, we got to go back and read the scriptures and understand the attributes and different things that the different kingdoms and the heathens did to us, so we're able to find comfort. Like as Jeremiah was saying, it won't be uncomfortable when destruction comes and all this, the perilous times come and stuff like that.
And it's still gonna be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? You just gotta be okay with that. You gotta understand that this is the price that you have to pay in order to obtain the kingdom of God. Play the next clip. You got something, Officer? Go ahead.
Yes, I was just gonna say, based upon what you were bringing out today about the cost of freedom. You know, this has been a big cost. You know, for freedom, you know, it's never cheap. So all of our people that came behind us, before us in the back, they all had to die for what they believed in. And so for us going forward, we definitely got to do the same thing. We're going to have to die, you know, to do this. We got to keep going with it, you know, because of we got to shed the blood. We got to shed our blood to do this.
100%. Play that next video, the Malcolm X one. Just to show y'all that, you know, Malcolm X was aware not only of the struggles that he faced in America, but he was aware of the struggles that was going on the other side of the world too. This is what fuels us, right? Before we play this, give me Ecclesiastes 7:7. Like oppression, when you see these things, it should upset you. And not upset you to the point where you want to pick up guns and go kill white people, because we are nonviolent, Bible-based organization. We do not condone violence, you know what I'm saying? And we advise that if anybody here or know of any evil, that you tell the cops, tell the police. We snitch. We do, okay? You know what I mean? So don't go out there and kill nobody. Y'all don't pick up no guns and harm nobody. You know what I'm saying? We not here for that. We here to keep God's commandments. We fight spiritually, not physically. Read that in Ecclesiastes 7.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
So oppression, if you're a wise man, you're going to be upset because anger gets stuff done. You know what I'm saying? You got to use that anger to fuel you. You know what I'm saying? Use that anger to push you to do more. When you see stuff like this, it should make you angry. It makes me angry of what my people had to go through just to get where we at today. And they serve a purpose. Go back to that Malcolm X video.
I think that the white people should be ashamed of the deplorable situation that has been existing in the Congo, which is not the fault of the Congolese, but which is the result of instigation by European powers who are fighting each other over the mineral wealth of the Congo. And now to make it appear that the Congolese themselves are criminals or brutes because they're reacting to these injustices that they've been victimized by is again ducking the question.
Shambi is the murderer of Lumumba, who was the rightful prime minister of the Congo. Shambi is the man whose forces fought against the United Nations forces and against the United States, and despite this criminal past of Shambi, now the United States is backing Shambi, who has hired South African mercenaries who are hired killers to disrupt the peaceful efforts of the freedom fighters from Stanleyville to make the type of country there that they want. And it is this American support of Shambi, actually, that's at the root of the whole problem.
Another reason why they had to kill Malcolm X, because he was minding matters that didn't have nothing to do with him. Not only was he stirring up people in America, he talking about Africa while he in America. This is going to make the Americans look over there in Africa like, damn, the same thing going on. So they understand the bigger picture. That's why I say the mind of Esau is deep. They think real deep. They say, man, we got to kill this nigga. We got to kill that nigga. We got to kill this nigga too because they doing too much. Put that J. Edgar Hoover photo up because we know about J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI and what he said about black people in America. Well, guess what? This applied to black people in Africa. It applied to the Northern Kingdom too. That's why so many black men were assassinated in America. Not only in America, when we read throughout the scriptures, all the disciples were killed. Christ was killed. Peter was killed. John was killed. They all was assassinated. Why would they assassinate men who teaching the truth according to the Bible? Because it's going to unify us. And J. Edgar Hoover, the devil, he knew this. He said the real threat is black unity. It ain't voting. It ain't we ain't got enough money. It ain't gold. It ain't none of that. He said the real threat is black unity. The Negro Unity Movement is the greatest threat to the internal security of the United States. FBI COINTELPRO to stop African Americans from uniting with Africa. So Malcolm X speaking on things that's going on in Africa, he said that's a problem. We got to kill this nigga. And guess what? It's coming right here on our door too. Give me Isaiah 59 and verse 15. This is what the Bible said about the situation because J. Edgar Hoover said the worst threat to America is Negro unity. Let's see what Isaiah had to say. Let's see what God had to say about it.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 15. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey.
He that do what?
He that departed from evil maketh himself a prey.
So the moment that y'all walked in this door and say, you know what, I'm finna change my life, I'm gonna do right, you became a prey. And this is not P-R-A-Y, this P-R-E-Y. Lions and tigers and bears hunt prey. Who have we become the prey to? We have become the prey to Satan, the white man. Guess what? The white man, the devil. And he hunting all y'all souls. He want all y'all souls. And if you on TikTok, if you got things that you know if you got things in you that you know shouldn't be there, he gonna use it against you. You want to post pictures on TikTok, look sideways, you know what I'm saying, this and that. You want to scroll and brothers doing porn and all, you know what I'm saying, watching porn. The Lord gonna use that to pull you out of this truth. So J. Edgar Hoover said the worst threat is Negro unity. God say when you depart from evil, you make yourself a prey. Go ahead.
And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment.
There was no judgment, but you got men like Patrice, Malcolm, and even today, Bishop Nathaniel, Bishop Yawasab, Bishop Kanai, all the deacons and the captains, they set the standard on what we should be doing as men of the Lord. Go ahead.
Get Zechariah 11 and 14 right quick to go with what Officer Jeremiah was just saying about how Malcolm X, he was bringing out and shining light on the struggles that our brothers was going through in Africa. Read that right quick.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 14.
So the reason why J. Edgar Hoover said that, because he understand, just like most of our people don't understand, that our brothers, we are the same people as some of our brothers and sisters in Africa and the Northern American islands and stuff like that. They know who we are. So if they get like some type of feeling that Malcolm X or anybody is trying to unite that, then it's gonna be an issue because they understand, hey, we got to terminate that immediately, because they understand if we come back together, the power that we'll have under Christ. Read that.
Then I could asunder my other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel.
So the white man has done a great job with separating us, right? So you got what's the Northern Kingdom Dominicans, right? They say they not black, but they look just like us. You see what I'm saying? They say no Negro. You know what I'm saying? And they on the same island as Levi, the Haitians. You see what I'm saying? They have done a great job and spent a lot of money in separating us, breaking that band between Israel and Judah. So any threat towards that right there, they're gonna have to terminate it. So, and that's what they did with Malcolm X.
Hey, officer, real quick, Psalm 64 and 5. Psalm 64 and 5, because this same mindset is the blueprint of what Esau does even to this day. The whole COINTELPRO, it's an entire program created for counterintelligence. That's what COINTELPRO means, counterintelligence. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 5.
Read.
They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of land snares privily. They say, who shall see them?
So they're prideful enough to say, we're going to lay traps secretly for God's chosen. You know what those traps are? Politics, money, jobs, all the different systems that Esau make, gangs. Because remember, the gangs never started out to be gangs. Those were infiltrated by informants to then push drugs and things on the community. But most of the gangs started like Bloods, Crips, Community Revolution in Progress. These started off as black groups to protect the community. But they didn't want no unity amongst Jacob. So then they sent token Negroes into that to mess all that up and then to promote evil and death in those things. So, hey, this is the blueprint of what Esau does to this day. Keep reading.
They search out iniquity.
So in order to search out sin, you must know what the law is. So that means that they searched out this book. They know who we are. And they searched out, how can we keep them in sin? How can we keep them away from their God? Let me pay them right before the Sabbath. Then they have to, then let me have all the deals on Saturday. Let me have them pay numerous amounts of taxes because I own them. Because they poor. They are destitute. They don't know who they are. Let me give them music that promotes death. Let me give them entertainment that encourages their pain. Let me put them in different sides of the city that's far away from us, but they're in areas where corporation waste goes. The trains go through it, so it's a lot of noise. It's a lot of pollution. This is by design.
Because that's what you can afford.
Exactly. And then it's what they want you to afford because they keep you ignorant even in their financial system, so you stay poor. They don't want us to excel in nothing. Why? Because they know we're going to take it over. Read again.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
So Esau thinks generations ahead. Some of us can't even think past our nose. That's how bad we are as a people. That's why all praises to the Most High God, we're learning how to use foresight. Because God's law is showing us how to look forward, and then we're using hindsight. Y'all know the saying, hindsight is 20/20, right? Because it already happened, so you know what it looks like. So we're using hindsight by reading the history of God's word and remembering who we are with that history. So then, hey, now we can see 2020 forward now. But yeah, that's all I got.
And that's because we know the end. We don't need, and I'm not saying, because a lot of us went to school and we didn't learn about finances, but you go to these white folks' school, they learn about these things at an early age. Now, I'm not saying that these things don't help, because they do, but we know the end. We know that this kingdom is going to fall regardless of how many stocks you have, regardless of what you got investment in. This kingdom is going to fall, and the world is going to be ours because it belongs to us anyway. We're going to skip the next video. Let's go to the video 12, because I wanted to play the rest of the videos, but I ain't got a lot of time, right? So it was Thomas Sankara. Y'all know Ibrahim Torre. He got his mentality from Thomas Sankara, you know what I'm saying, with Burkina Faso. So that inspiration that the men before them left planted a seed within them to where they're able to do the things they're able to do today. Before we play the next video, we're going to play the next video first, then I get John 12. John 12 and 24, I think. Play the video with the sister. For my sisters out there, I ain't leave y'all out, you know what I'm saying, because there were black women during the time of the Black Panthers and all these different movements that were supporting the men. And these are the women that we need when it comes to raising these children. Because most of the time, black men going to work, you know what I'm saying, even in biblical times, they went out to war, and the children was around the mother for majority of the time. But if the mother don't have that mentality to where she mad when she see the oppression, and she tired of it, and she want to instruct her children in the way of the Lord, then we still ain't going to get nowhere. It's going to take us coming together to put these pieces of the puzzle together and apply them in our lives in order for us to raise up the next generation. So the women got to have a revolutionary mentality. And guess what? The women going to get put to death too. So men, hopefully y'all talking to y'all wives about the things that they going to have to go through when this time comes. Because it happened one time, it will happen again. Play this video.
Yeah, I would just like to say to this gentleman, I would like to say to this gentleman and all other people who are not blessed with melanin at this point in time.
See that? She said, I want to say to all the people who ain't blessed with melanin. So she loved the skin she was in. She wasn't trying to bleach her skin. I mean, this video in black and white. I'm pretty sure she ain't had no makeup on. Now, I ain't saying nothing about y'all sisters like with makeup. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. You know what I'm saying? But she said, I'm talking to the people that don't have the melanin. What she said? Play it back. That ain't blessed with the melanin that we have. She said, I love the skin I'm in, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Look at her.
So in a way, she's saying that if you don't have melanin, you curse.
Yeah, you curse. That's pretty much what she said. Go ahead.
To understand that what has happened in our history is that you have been misinformed as much as we have been misinformed. Much of the information that is brought forth not only from Dr. Muhammad, but other areas, other scholars are not available to you, as the sister said, in your curriculums that you have for 400 years when you did not allow us to read and write and was being hidden. Whether you, sir, personally did that or not, it was a legacy that was passed on to you. And I end by saying the Holocaust is simply the greatest atrocity on film. Ours was not filmed.
This sister was on fire. She was cooking, boy. What a black woman. I mean, we know the black woman in here is like that, but the black women like out there, they ain't like this. You know what I'm saying? But this is the mentality that we have to have as a whole if we're going to be able to take the kingdom that's been promised to us. Go ahead.
Okay, so she mentioned about the curriculum, right? That is one major thing. I say it all the time. Weaponized education is indoctrination because you're being educated on everything that you see, hear, or experience. But if it's controlled and it's against you and you don't know it, it's indoctrination at that point. I want to read an excerpt. This is it's a book called let me see. Haciendas of Mexico. Haciendas of Mexico. All right. So haciendas just means plantations of Mexico. We talk about some plantations that happen in Issachar? Yes. They have a lot of information to prove that they're Israel. Now, but this is a very interesting read because she mentioned about the educational system, how we're hid or blocked from certain said information. I know officer said, hey, we in America, we in the greatest city on the earth, the greatest country on the earth. But in America, we live in a bubble. When it comes to information, the censorship that's on America, it knows no bounds. A lot of y'all think y'all free with the information that you think you getting. Nah, jump on a VPN. You'll see a lot of stuff like, oh, dang, I ain't know this information out here.
As time passed, viceroys, churchmen, lawyers, and teachers became more and more aware of the language barriers that existed throughout the country and that impeded the progress.
So it impeded the progress because there was like 5 different tribes that didn't speak all the same dialect. So they really couldn't teach nobody. They used ignorance to lead them. Read.
The Catholics.
The what?
The Catholics, through their,
ecclesiastical
schools attempted to upgrade life. There were no public schools.
So the Catholics taught our people through their ecclesiastical schools whatever they wanted to teach them. And then there was a language barrier. So with that language barrier, that was indoctrination. They was telling them what they wanted them to hear. This happens all the time. If you really want to control a people, you control the minds of the people. So that means the information I share with you is going to be controlled. The information that you hear is going to be controlled without you knowing about it. Keep reading.
Among the ecclesiastical orders, the Jesuits were major haciendas owners.
Haciendas owners. So they were major plantation owners. The Jesuit priests or the Christians. The biggest religion in Mexico right now is Catholicism.
And Bishop said last week that the Jesuits, they were not taught Christian doctrine. The Jesuits were taught politics and geography. You know, that's how they got to this side of the world, because they understood how to move on maps. They understood the things that would make people fall in line. The democracy, the politics, the oppression. They bought what they bought over here? Smallpox and you know what I'm saying, the blankets.
Diseases.
They bought diseases over here to the people because they understood war. So just because the title Jesuits is on them doesn't mean that they were actual biblical people. They were men of war. That's what the Lord gave them. He gave them the art of war. So no matter how they guard it up or how they dress it up, they still men of war.
Hey, finish that out, because what officer said is what this is going to say, what the Jesuits did to our people. Read.
Their design for living began at 4 a.m. and ended at 7 p.m. At the most famous Jesuit hacienda, Santa Lucia, near Mexico City, slaves were purchased, bred, sold, retained for work on the estates.
So it's showing you that they were the major benefactors of slavery in Mexico, and that they bred and purchased and sold slaves. Jesuit priests. Going back to what officer saying, this is a very paramount moment. Our information being controlled, you're a slave still. You may think you free because you got the job that you have and the money with your enemy's face on it. But you are a slave if your information is not freely given. And I'm showing you are a slave. Our brothers and sisters in Mexico was a slave at this time in these haciendas. Finish that out. There were
no fiestas at Santa Lucia.
There were no parties, no Sabbaths, you don't celebrate nothing. That's what a lot of our people do today. I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, but I don't celebrate nothing. Even though they may say, you know what, I don't celebrate Christmas, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. But they don't even celebrate God's high holy days. They don't celebrate nothing. You are a slave. You're a slave if you don't celebrate nothing. You're a slave. So going back to what the sister said, because of that information being controlled, the enemies got you where they want you, a slave serving them.
Damn, that's him. Thomas St. Carr. Go ahead.
Well, we need to work to decolonize the mindsets. To overthrow the regime in Upper Volta, it might not be necessary to bring in heavily armed mercenaries. It is simply enough to prohibit the import of champagne or lipstick, I don't know, or nail polish. That's enough to overthrow us. Because the petty bourgeoisie today is convinced that they cannot do without these products. Well, we need to work to decolonize the mindsets. We are working to recondition our people to accept living as they are, not to be ashamed of their realities, to be content with them, and even to take pride in them. It's fine if others live like that, but it's normal for us to live differently.
He said, and that's crazy because for a long time, we've been talking about 40 acres and a mule, right? You give a nigga 40 acres and a mule, he gonna give it right back to the white man. We wouldn't be able to do nothing with. We are not farmers. We don't know what to do with the land. We'll sell the land for some Jordans. We have Bentleys and Rolls Royce in our garage right now. Give us 40 acres and a mule. Romans 12:2. That's why these black men and these black women had to be killed, because they were speaking revolution into people. And this is what the white man fears the most. He don't fear men who carry around Glock 40s and tote 9mm with extendo clips and got switches in their gun. He don't fear that. He fear unity, discipline, and structure within the black men and the black women within our household. He fear black men and black women coming together and raising their children according to the Bible. That's what put fear in the white man, not niggotry. They want that because that niggotry is a result of the oppression that has worked for over 400 years. That's all that is. When they see that, they're like, yeah. When they see y'all in these skin-tight clothes, showing you behind, in all the people in your DMs, you entertain them, they say, yep, it worked. Good slave. That's a good nigga. When they see you with your pants sagging, coming in here looking crazy with your hair all over the place, not shaving your beard, they say, yep, it worked. Nigga. Romans 12.
The book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
And I say that, man, because we ambassadors of Christ. All right, so y'all brothers got to, you know what I'm saying, keep your stuff lined up. You know what I'm saying? Don't have it all over your head. Look presentable. All right, go ahead.
And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
By the what?
By the renewing of your mind.
He said nail polish and what else he said? Nail polish and lipstick is enough to overthrow us because of the petty bourgeoisie, because our mindset is not right. We feel like we need these things in our life. You take away makeup from sisters, what would y'all do?
Some of them would lose their mind, officer. Don't
Take away
that.
the weave. I
They will lose
can't
their
put
mind.
weave in my hair no more. Oh my God, I can't. I gotta do my own hair now. Some of I ain't, not y'all women, not y'all sisters in here, but the black women out there will lose their mind if you take away that weave from.
Do you want the truth, or do you want the truth?
Tell me the truth. Look, these sisters in here, all right. These sisters have made the necessary changes that they need to make. I mean, some of them, we all struggling. You know what I'm saying? We all got some ways to go, and Christ's going to give us that full understanding. But y'all here, and that's part of the battle. Not all the battle, but it's part of the battle, all right? Oh, finish that out.
That ye may prove what is that.
Read it from the top again. Be not conformed.
And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
So God is telling us to not be conformed to this world. Even though we're in the world, we can't be of the, how does it say? We got to be, if you're in the world, you can't be of the world. So we in the world, but we can't be of the world. We got to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Go ahead.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Why? Because this whole world belongs to us. God said he created this world for us. Every place where the sole of our foot touch, he said it's supposed to be ours. But right now we at the bottom because we strayed away from God's commandments. So in order for us to get back to the top, we got to be willing to accept what come with that. Give me Daniel 9 and 11 real quick. Because ain't nobody upon the face of the earth went through what we went through and came through the atrocities that we suffered in this world today. Nobody. Nobody can say, not the Holocaust, not the Germans, not the Russians. Nobody been through what we've been through. God chose us. He didn't choose them. Go ahead.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
They did what?
Have transgressed thy law.
So we in this position that we in right now because we broke God's commandments. Go ahead.
Even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore,
because we broke God's commandments, go ahead.
Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God.
Go ahead.
Because we have sinned against him.
So because we sinned against God, this is why we in the position that we in today. So we talked about some of them revolutionaries and the mentality that they had. How is it that we're going to be able to adopt that mentality and take the kingdom back that the Lord gave to us? Give me Revelation chapter 2 and verse 4. I can remember a time, and we got a few more scriptures that we're going to try to close it out, right? I remember a time prior coming into the truth. I can speak for the men. I don't know about the sisters, you know what I'm saying? But when this truth was introduced to me, there was a certain fire that I had for studying God's word. Like I couldn't leave it alone. For days straight, it was 8 hours, missing sleep, you know what I'm saying? Like time and time again, it was like you had a desire for the word. We got to find that again. Because a fire that's not constantly fed, what happens to it? It goes out. And sometimes you come in this truth and you get complacent and you stop feeding that fire and it stopped going out. We stopped seeing you one Sabbath, stop seeing you two Sabbath. You ain't communicating. You got stuff going on in your household. Well, what brother so-and-so at? I don't know. He ain't reached out. What sister so-and-so at? I don't know. She ain't contacted the POC. We can't be like that. If the Lord told us to gather together and we're supposed to be a family, why is it that we can't check in and let people know our well-beings? Do you think we don't care? I mean, the Lord put us here. We didn't put ourselves here, so we have to care for you. That's the mentality that we got to have. We family, and the only commonality that we have amongst each other outside of the brothers and sisters who came in the body with their mother, with their father, with their brother is the Bible. The reason why we're here is because the Spirit of the Lord that's upon us. That's the only reason. So with that Spirit being upon you, it has to continually be fed. Revelation 2.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 4.
Start at verse 3.
Verse 3. And has borne and has patience, and for my name's sake.
Start at 2.
Verse 2. I know thy works and thy labor and thy patience, and now thou cannot bear them which are evil.
That's how he was when we came in. We didn't want to be around none of our wicked family members. We didn't want to be around nobody that wasn't keeping God's commandments. The Lord told the church, what church is this? Of Ephesus. He said, man, look, I know your works and the zeal that you have, and you can't stand people that are evil. Go ahead.
And thou hast tried them, which say they are apostles.
Anybody that say they believe in God, well, what color is Christ? What happened to the Israelites? We ready to ask them all the time. Any conversation we had, we was ready to bring forth the Bible. Go ahead.
Which say they are apostles and are not, and has found them liars.
And we confounded a lot of people. And out of our ignorance, sometimes we got confounded because we was trying to do too much. And we were still babies. But it was the zeal that we had that got us to that point. It was the zeal that we had for the Lord, the love that we had for the Lord that kept us going, that had us ignited. Go ahead.
And has borne, and has patience, and for my name's sake has labored, and has not fainted.
So some of us come in, we do work for years, and then we kind of fall off. Keep reading.
Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love.
He said, I got a problem with you, though, because the same energy and love that you had when you first came in, you ain't got that no more. Now you're starting to teeter-totter. Now you're not starting to show up as much. Now you're not studying. The only time you pick up your Bible is on the Sabbath. You think that the mentality that we seen that woman had and Patrice Lumumba and Thomas Sankara, in order to have that mentality, in order to get to that point to where you're speaking in front of somebody, you have to be feeding that spirit every day. That's the only how you're going to get there. Malcolm X, the amount of time and effort that he spent learning about Islam in prison, Dr. King, Huey Newton, he was young. But the amount of information that you have to be able to stand up and have that fire in you, that has to constantly be fed. Asada Shakur, she had to constantly feed. She has to constantly be seeing the things that are going on in the world and be upset about it and try to do something about it. They framed her, put her in jail. She escaped, went to Cuba, wrote a letter to the Pope, and said, man, I ain't coming back. I'm tired of the oppression. What you gonna do? Come get me? Come kill me? She had a zeal for the Lord. And a lot of us, when we first come in, we had that zeal, but like I said, we kind of lose it. Keep reading.
Remember, therefore, from which thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first work.
So God said you got to remember. You got to remember the time that you came in and you was willing to fix all your issues and do the first work, that first love. Go ahead.
Or else I will come unto thee quickly and will remove thy candlestick out of his place.
He said, or else I'm going to come and I'm going to remove that candlestick out of his place. And how many of us in here, some of y'all been here in the old school. The leadership that we have now ain't the leadership that we had then. Many brothers and sisters I was close with at one point in time, not here no more. Why? They forgot their first love. And the Lord removed the candlestick from out. But the thing with that is, if you talk to them today, some of them still believe they in the truth. They still believe they serving God. How, Sway? You ain't kept a Sabbath day. You ain't kept no feast day. If you had an issue with your brother and you left, you ain't check him about it. You ain't come to reason with the issue. How is it that you love God? How is it that you still serving God? But God say, I will remove thy candlestick. Read it again. Only 1 minute.
I will come unto thee, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will remove thy candlestick out of his place.
He said, or else, if you don't remember your first love and continue to feed that fire, I'm going to remove that candlestick out. So when people leave, it ain't you. It ain't because you was a bad friend. It ain't because you did something wrong. It's because the Lord removed that candlestick. But sometimes we get so caught up in that fringe, you know what I'm saying, that we value our emotions and our feelings for that person over the Lord. The Lord said we can't be that way. When people leave here, it's because the Lord removed that candlestick. And if you want to stay, you better make sure you feeding that fire. You better point out the evil when you see it in them. Because if you don't, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be right out here too. Revelation 3:15.
The book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
So that's what happened over time. You get lukewarm. You know, that you stop focusing on the issues that you got, and you just here. You showing up, and you think showing up is enough. You may have 1 or 2 offices, you know what I'm saying? Even if you got an office and you doing work, you still got to make sure you continuing to feed that fire, because you can go through life and it can get mundane. Same thing over and over again, and you find yourself, before you know it, 2-3 years have passed, and if you had to do a self-examination on yourself, like, what progress have I made? It ain't even about the rank. As a man, have you leveled up? As a woman, have you leveled up? Damn, am I at the point where I can't get married? Why would I even want to get married? To build a nation. So if you been here for 3-4 years, and you have no desire to get married, why you here? We're here to build a nation. We're here to build up strong brothers and strong sisters to raise strong children. That has to be done together. It can't be done by yourself. So if you've been here 2-3 years, you can't put down the alcohol, you can't put down the weed. Man, what are we doing? You wasting your time. Because you're going to get the same judgment that the white man going to get. The white man, the devil. He going to get judged, and you're going to get judged right along with him. Because you forgot. You forgot why we here. You got something? Give me 2 Ezra 16. And those people who are here and is mundane to you, is just a routine thing, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Tell you what's going to happen. Patrice Lumumba, who y'all think they used to assassinate him? Thomas and Carr, Steve Biko, Malcolm X, Dr. King. Who they used to assassinate him? Their own people. Who assassinated Christ? The man that walked with him, the man that was beside him every day, kissing him, eating bread with him, breaking bread, healing people. That same man was used to destroy him. That same man. But why? 2 Ezra 16, verse 68.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 68.
And what we're going over is how to adopt the mentality of the men that we see that was willing to give their life. Them men that willing to give their life for their people, they understood this. They understood that they couldn't be idle. They understood they couldn't be lukewarm. They understood that in order to keep that fire burning, they had to continue to feed it. Their life became null and void when it came to their people. They was willing to sacrifice themselves. And in John, he said, greater love have no man that he willing to lay down his life for his friend. No, that's the greatest love ever. That's what Christ came and did. He came and laid down his life. He gave up his life so we can have life. So we have to honor him by doing the same thing. Your life is not your own. It belongs to the Lord. Read that.
For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle.
Being what?
Being idle.
It said the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled against you. And some of you, some of us in here, gonna get taken away because we idle. Because we can't figure out what we need to do. Because you know what? I'm not fit to be a soldier, man. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm worthy enough. That doubt and those spirits, Satan gonna use them against you. And he gonna plant a seed in your mind, and before you know it, you're gonna be ratting somebody out of here. Not that we doing anything wrong, because we ain't doing nothing but keeping God's commandments. But Judas was keeping God's commandments. And he betrayed Christ. So most people say, man, I'll never do nothing like that. All right. If you continue to be idle, if you continue to not feed that spirit and cultivate that spirit so it can grow, the Lord will use you to betray people in here. So the brother or sister that's sitting beside you, when you see him 1 week and don't see him the next, bro, where the hell you been? Where you been? You reach out to your POC? That's what we should be doing. This is the house. This is the house of the Lord. Righteousness should dwell here at all times. Not halfway. People who, no, we ain't doing that, bro. 2 Ezra 16, read it from the top again.
For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
So that also means that some people in here are still worshiping idols. Maybe you're not worshiping the white man Jesus. Give me Ezekiel 14. Is it 14:21? Not 14:21. 14:3 or 2 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the idol don't mean it's a physical thing that you got to bow down to and worship it. Idols are many things. It's whatever you desire more than the Lord. 14:2. Ezekiel 14:2.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 14, verse 2. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up idols in their heart.
They did what?
Have set up idols in their heart.
That's not a physical idol. That's an idol within your mind. And that could be anything. It could be money. So if you decide you don't want to come to the Sabbath because you got to work, then that money is your idol. If you decide you don't want to come to the Sabbath because you got a problem with a brother or sister that you're not willing to fix, then you are the idol. Your mind is the idol. You value your mind over the commandments of God. So these are the things we got to think about. Idols can be anything, not physical things that set up the worship. So with all that being said, we have to make sure that we're fixing the issues and the lust in our life, because if we don't, they will be used against us. and not only against yourself, but against brothers and sisters in the body that you say you care about. We all here because we claim to care about each other. Well, you're doing yourself and the sister and brother beside you a disservice if you're not trying to be the best version of yourself. And that comes by applying God's commandments. Matthew 26:14, and we're going to get 2 Ezra 7, and we're going to wrap it up.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 14. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests and said unto them, what will ye give me, and I will deliver him unto you?
He did what?
What will ye give me, and I will deliver him unto you? And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver.
So Judas betrayed Christ for 30 pieces of silver. They made an agreement with him for 30 pieces of silver. Now, you would think that you walking with Christ, that like you would be fixing the issues, but the reason why Judas betrayed Christ, because he loved money. That's all he thought about was money. And if all you think about is money and this truth, then truly you are lacking the fruits of the Spirit, because what God got for us is way better than any money we can ever get. That money got the white man face on it. What can we do with it? We can't take that to the kingdom. He said we're going to be walking around on streets that's paved with gold. I can't even imagine what that looked like, to not die. You know what I'm saying? To children be born in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't imagine the things that God got promised to us, but we hung up on money, talking about practice. Practice. White Law said practice. Money. You know what I'm saying? But Judas didn't realize the covetous spirit that he had. And that spirit was used to portray. That lust robbed him of the kingdom because he didn't realize it and address it. So whatever lust you got in you, you better fix it, because people will say, I'll never do something like that. All right, don't say what you won't do, because the Lord will try you on it. 2 Ezra 7.
What verse you want?
Start at 3.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 3. And I said, speak on, my God. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But the entrance were narrow, and like a river, who then could go into the sea to look upon it, and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?
So that's the path for us all. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom, it's a tight rope, y'all. But it's a rope that's worth walking, and it's a rope that can be walked because Christ did it. He was the example for us. Many brothers and sisters that left this world, you know what I'm saying, keeping the commandments of God. What more can you ask for? We have Brother Mike, we have Sister Michelle. You know what I'm saying? They was the example for us. They died keeping God's commandment. That's what we all should aspire to be. Walk that tight and narrow road, because the kingdom is going to be worth it. Read.
There's also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once.
So on this path, you can't take your children with you, you can't take your husband with you, you can't take nobody with you. You can only take yourself. That's why self-improvement and being addicted to that spirit is so important. Because you don't want to, at the end of the day, when you die, you want to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. You don't want to hear, depart from me, I never knew you. And you don't know how much we can never go far enough in this truth. You can never please the Lord enough. So you should be doing any and everything you can do to make sure you get the kingdom. Because none of our fate is sealed, not yet. But if you believe that you're going to make it to the end, the works, just think about where we could be in the amount of people we can reach if everybody had the same mindset that our leaders got. Think about it. Think about how much ground we can cover if we weren't so scared to sacrifice our time and our money to get to the place that we're trying to go. Because God going to look out for us. If you look out for the birds and the bees and all that, you don't think He's going to take care of His sons and daughters? Come on, man. Give me 2 Ezra 2. This is the last scripture. 2 Ezra 2, 42 through 48.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 2 and verse 42. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number. And they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly.
So this was a vision that was given to Ezra about Christ putting crowns on people's head at the end of the day. Just like Daniel had the vision about all the kingdoms being destroyed, there was a vision shown to Ezra about people getting crowned. Read.
So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? And he answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and have put on immortal, and have confessed the name of God. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
That did what?
Stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
So if this vision was written and we looking at it right now, that means that it already came to pass. But the bigger question is, do you believe that you was one of the people that the Lord was putting that crown on? If you do believe, that means you're gonna find a way to light that fire so you can do greater works. If not, you're going to come here. We're going to see you maybe we'll see you next week. You ain't going to communicate. You ain't going to get no counsel. You're going to continue being the same person that you are. There's going to be no progress. So the belief that you have, if you say that if you see yourself here, then we should see greater works from all of you. If you see yourself here. If not, then to each his own. Y'all see yourself here? Y'all see yourself here? All right.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.